Good morning, everyone. During our last lesson, you learned a formula that demonstrates how making good choices can give you personal power. Who can state the formula? Great, it's E plus B plus C is equal to personal power. What does the E stand for? Yes, that's right. The E stands for event. It stands for what can happen to you. How about the B? What does that stand for? Yes, it's behavior. It's how you choose to act. Okay, what does the C stand for? It's consequence. It's what happens to you after you act. So E plus B plus C is personal power, and what that means is that if you just choose behaviors that lead to good consequences, you get more personal powers. So today we're going to be learning a strategy to help you supervise yourself at all times so that you can become a good manager. And take out your unit map and let's look at what we'll be working on today. It is the focus strategy. And this strategy will help you make good choices and have personal power because you're going to learn some good self-management skills. Let's really review what does it mean to be focused? What does it mean when you're focused? Yeah, it means that you're concentrating, that you're working without getting distracted, and that you're staying on task. Those are all good answered. Focus means that you keep your mind on what you're doing as you work. Show me without speaking what you would look like if you were a focused worker. Right. You'd be reading silently, you'd be looking at your work or looking at me as a teacher. I really think you guys showed me, and I hope you do that in future, what a great job you will be as focused workers. Well, what about unfocused? What does unfocused mean? Okay, it means that you're not doing your work, you're looking around the room, you're getting out of your seat when the teacher is talking. I know none of you would do that. Talking to your neighbor when you should be working. These are all good answers. So to be an unfocused means you're not keeping your mind on what you are doing. Show me without speaking what you would look like if you were an unfocused worker. Okay, well, let's look at this little ant here. He's an unfocused worker. What do you see that he is doing? Yeah, he's getting out of his seat. His desk is kind of a mess. He's daydreaming about, I think, going to the island or something. And he's not doing what's listed in the community expectations in the classroom. Yeah, so this is what an unfocused worker looks like. Okay, so today we're going to learn a strategy. And a strategy that will help you focus and become good self-managers. So we've talked about strategies before. What is a strategy? It's a plan of action. Right, it's a way of doing something. So a strategy is a plan of action that includes a series of steps to help you accomplish something. Good strategy can help you stay focused in order to manage yourself. So the steps of the focus strategy are in, and I put these all on your desk, is on cue card number 10. It's free. F is free your mind of distractions. O is organize yourself. C is check the expectations and get started. U is use help wisely. And the last one is supervise yourself. And as you can see, that spells focus. So, and that will help us remember the steps. If we're needing to get focused, we go, okay, what do I need? F. And we'll talk, freeze myself from distractions. And we'll talk through these a little bit in more detail, and we'll practice this in the upcoming days. So the first step is free your mind of distractions. Who can tell me what a distracted person looks like? Someone who might be daydreaming. You're thinking about something other than what you're actually doing, and you're not concentrating. You may probably looking around the room and just, not paying attention to the teacher. So a distractor is whatever it is that you're thinking that is not about the work you are supposed to be doing. It could be lunch, it could be a friend, or it could be a noise outside. What other distractions can you think of? Yeah, what you're going to be doing after school. How I'm feeling. Am I mad at somebody? Am I happy? Something a friend said to me in the hallway just before I came to class. There's just a whole lot of things that can get us distracted. And sometimes it's hard to concentrate on an assignment, though. And when distraction enters your mind, what do you think you should do? Like when you start daydreaming or you get distracted, what are some strategies you could take to not be distracted? Remind yourself you have work to do. You can think about it later. Think of schoolwork as your job, because it really is your job in order to prepare for your future or future jobs that you'd have. Okay, now we'll look at the little ant now. He's gotten rid of all those distractions. He quit daydreaming about the Bahamas or whatever he was thinking about, and he says, okay, I need to focus on my assignment. And that's when you come to work, you get an assignment, or you go into your classes, you need to get focused and get the other distractions out of your mind. Okay, organize yourself. That is our second step. That one is hard for a lot of us to do, but let's talk about what an organized person is like. What do you think an organized person is like? Yeah, you can have all your belongings picked up and neatly put away. You can find the things when you need them. And you come to class with all the books and materials that you need to do the job. Thus, the second step of focus strategy is to organize yourself. That is, you need to make sure you have room to work and that you have all your materials you need for a particular job within easy reach. So here is our little ant again, and he has everything I need to do this assignment on my desk. Everything else has been put away. What do you notice about his backpack here? It's not strewn all over the floor. He's got just what he needs to do his assignment. He doesn't have more on his desk. So that's what it means to organize yourself. And it does mean you come to class with all your books and all your paper and your pens and different things like that. Okay, the third step is check the expectations and get started. The word expectation refers to the learning community expectations that we have been established in the classroom. Who can tell me about some of the learning community expectations that we established in our classroom? Well, right here we have the ones that we put together right here, and I keep them posted all the time. Enter the classroom quietly and prepared. Follow directions. Begin work promptly and stay on task and work until done. Listen while others speak. Signal to speak. We raise our hands when we signal to speak. Use respectful language. Keep hands, feet, and objects to yourself. So if we forget what the expectations are, they're always posted here. So just read those every day when you come in, so you know the expectations of this classroom and also other classrooms that you go into. The teachers have posted the expectations. Okay, let's look at use help wisely. Well, okay, before I go to that, I wanted to show you the little ant picture. It says, okay, I know what to do. I have checked the expectations, and you can see they're listed just like we have in our classroom, and I can get started. So now we're going to use help wisely. And I have given you another cue card. It's cue card number 14. And this is called stack. task to use help wisely. And this step involves 4 subtests. It means think before asking for help is the first, ask at the right time, signal and work while waiting, and know what to say. So who knows what a task is? What is a task? Yeah, you're right, it's a job, an assignment, something you have to do. This word will help you remember the steps you have to use, help wisely with any task or job. Let's now discuss each of these steps. So think before asking for help. What do you think before asking for help means? Okay, yeah, it means read the directions and think about them. Think about what the teacher said. Try to figure out your question by yourself. Don't raise your hand right away when you get started to think the teacher's going to get it for you. Make sure you really need help before asking. So why do you think you should do this? Okay, yeah, you'd really feel good about yourself if you figured it out on your own. Might be other students who need more help than I do, and there's one teacher to sometimes 30 students in some of the classes you're taking. And I'm not wasting time if I really don't need the help. Okay, so ask at the right time. Let's say that you've thought about your question. You can't figure out the answer. And the next substep is really like what is the right time? How can you tell what the right time is? Yeah, when the teacher has stopped talking or writing, she's ready to have you do your work. And when the other students have started their work, and when you've actually taken some time to think about it before you raise your hand right away. So now this one is signal and work while waiting, the S step. So let's say that everyone around you has started work and your teacher is no longer talking. He may be at his desk or walking around the room. The next step is that you should signal and work while waiting. What do you think this means? Quietly raise your hand. Stay at your desk and wait for your teacher to come to you. Keep trying to work on your assignment while waiting for the teacher. Those are all good things to keep in mind because sometimes the teacher can't get to you right away. But and then signaling, we've decided in our class that you'll raise your hand if you need help. But you can have your hand up and then still continue to work. Good job. So the fourth substep is know what to say. And what do you think that means? Know what to say. Yes, that you've thought about the question to ask the teacher when he arrives. If you've been busy working, though, you may forget the question you want to ask by the time the teacher gets to you. What do you think you could do to prevent this from happening, that you forgot the question? Sure, you could write the question on your paper and underline what you don't understand. Okay, so the last step, are there any questions about the task step? And again, we'll be talking about this a bit more and practicing it so that when we get started this year and working on our assignments that you'll have this really ingrained and you'll know how to use it. Okay. So the last step is supervise yourself. And what do you think supervise yourself means? Yes, you make good use of your time. You live by our learning community expectations. Remember what I said when you come into class. Read those every day till they're really something that you remember. No one has to remind you what to do. You tell yourself what to do. And you make good choices about your behavior. Focused workers are good managers of their time and behavior when working. Therefore, they do not need